Hi everyone. So this is 3:30. We will start today's skill-based session on coaching as a manager must. And uh, the reason we talk about this is I'm sure you have been attending a lot of webinars, a lot of discussions around, what to do in the times we are in, and so on and so forth. So. Uh, we are basically talking about today and sharing some information about how critical the coaching is going to be. As people start coming back to work or working from home, two things are going to become very important. Those two things is one is engagement, second is productivity or performance. Okay, and therefore the goal here is to share some updated research with all of you and build a business case why coaching is a must as a key core, not only the skill but also a mindset for each managers out there. So my name is Sandeep Udiraja. I work for BYLD as an organization. BYLD has three divisions, namely Wild Smarts, Blanchard, and DTCI. DTCI is Door Training and Consulting India, which is one of the largest and the oldest group or a group company within the BYLD group. Now, those who are wondering what does BYLD stand for, BYLD is Build Your Leadership Differentiator. Okay, that's the full form of BYLD as a group. We are South Asia's one of the largest service providers in learning development services in this part of the world, and we represent about some 15 global brands in India. And one of the global brands, leading global brands that we have or we represent, is called as InsideOut Coaching. Uh, so this is kind of a skill-based session. The goal I'll just share with you why are we here today? What are the goals for today's session? One is to look at the importance of a leader-led coaching conversation in today's ever-changing workplace scenarios. You're going to have managers outside, inside, all over the place, distributed workforce, a lot of millennials who are going to be led by a lot of our generation X, generation Y, generation Z kind of managers, and learn how to balance the scale between productivity and employee engagement and satisfaction. Look at what organization looks at or wants, and what is the how to marry the needs which are different for the employees, and apply coaching to some of the difficult conversation as we look at it. So I'm sure you have attended a lot of webinars and sessions on this session, but today is going to be slightly different. One, because all of you will do the heavy lifting. It's going to be very interactive, engaging. Okay, so you will be doing the research with me. Okay, along with the as we go through the session, and of course I will bring in little nuggets from Alan Fine. I hope some of you are aware that there are two very known gurus in the area of coaching. One is was Sir John Whitmore, who died about a year and a half ago, and the second was Alan Fine. Both of them are known as what we call as father of modern coaching, and gave the Grow model to the world. And Inside Out Coaching is the one which is owned by Alan Fine himself. So this content comes from the global gurus in the business of coaching. So that's what we're going to be talking about and sharing with you as we go through the process. Now, every company's wish list has this on their basically, charter, which we are going to be looking at. Now, whether you are affected by COVID or you're not affected by COVID, you know, uh, or you are going to restart or you're going to jumpstart. Okay, increased productivity is core on this thing, and especially it's going to be very important because some of the businesses that you probably work in are going to be working with reduced manpower, reduced capacities, and so on and so forth. So, productivity is going to be a key driver. It's a no-brainer. Everybody knows that. Then, we need to basically deliver those products and services to our clients and customers and create a good experience. And while doing all that, we need to make sure our best employees and our people who are our assets remain with us. And therefore, there is going to be a huge supply demand, okay, for the managers who can produce results in the constraints. And that's the important part of it. Okay, the world is going to be like that. There is a huge demand destruction which has happened. and only the best will survive. And not only the best in terms of, this what we are looking at, the best who basically create the best organizations which create price value equation are going to survive. Okay. And obviously to make a difference in the community, because these are tough times. We need to be able to find a way to, not only support us and our teams, we need to be a little more bigger in our area of influence and thinking as to how in general we can help people at large. Okay. So that's what every company's wish list is. When we look at the other way around, every employee's wish list, okay, is looking for job satisfaction. They're heard by the manager, be a part of a winning culture, meet goals, and be counted. Make a difference in what we are doing and have a career path which leads somewhere. So, you know, these can sometimes see like two different things and two different, on the side of the weighing scale. So our goal will be to find a bridge between these two different wish lists and make sure that we basically look at as we go forward, because these can be on the opposite ends of the spectrum. What company wants and employee wants. So it's no brainer. We want growth, we want engagement, we want revenue goals to be met, we want retention, and what employee wants today, especially millennials, okay, to be heard, work life balance, okay, make a difference, and career growth. So how do we create a level playing field is what we are going to be looking at. So when we talk about level playing field, okay, basically that's where coaching comes into play. It becomes basically helps us balance the scale in the process. So this balancing of the scale is a critical part of making sure that we are able to not only look at building an environment which helps us align with the organizational goal, and at the same time have a meaningful engagement with our people, employees who are going to be producing the results which we want them to produce. It's not an easy one, sounds easy or looks easy when we put it on a slide, but there is a lot of, challenges which we always there. It's a good idea to basically also have an idea about what we mean by saying what are the stakes as these issues. Let's give an idea. Okay. Uh, That's the cost if we lose a good employee. 6 to 9 months of salary spent on replacement. And let me tell you, money is going to be in short supply. There are many organizations will take a call that, okay, do we really need to have replacements, or can we make do with what we have, and so on and so forth. So employees are going to be very, very good. Employees will have a premium, and then we have to deal with it. 18 months is the average tenure of a millennial, okay, in today's workspace, which means that that's about maximum you can expect them to stick around. That also means a huge leadership challenge, because you have to train them, groom them, make them productive in the short span of time. And therefore, problem with leadership teams who are leaders is going to be that, do we have the luxury, do we have the time to basically prod them, nod them, grow them, and so on and so forth. Reality is no. So your best case scenario, you have 2 months to get your people productive, depending on the type of industry and the role which we are talking about. But that's about it. In order for us to start getting a positive ROI on our people. Lastly, uh, no surprise, this may get little change because of COVID, but 50% of millennials continue to look for new jobs. They're not going to wait for you. They're not going to be sitting there that this thing. So COVID may help you for a moment, because the things are tight. Job market is tight right now. But, know this, that the 50% are, already probably or looking out, or they were looking out already, and the resumes were there. So, uh, so in other words, what does it throw up? It throws up not only engagement issues but productivity issues, and these two things, which are the ones which will make a huge difference. Okay, so let's have fun with this one before I share the research. Okay, and some of the concept. So I'm going to do a poll, and I want you to look into your organizations and answer this question on the screen. what percent of current potential is your team using right now? Okay. And it's a general poll that you're doing. So I'm going to be ending the poll and sharing the results with all of you. And let's see what does it look like and where do we see the potential usage of in our organization. So if I put the poll right now on the graph, okay, so let's look at most of us are saying 80 to the biggest values are 80 to 70% as we look at it. So if we are saying that 70 to 80% of potential is being used, which means there is close to 20 to 30% of potential which is still lying untapped. Now, do some maths here. Okay, you all know the turnover of your organizations. Okay, it could range from 5 crores to 10,000 crores, doesn't matter. Okay, do some maths. So your current productivity, your current output, your current turnover is coming from 80% potential or 70% potential. If I was to only increase this utilization of potential by just 5%, nothing more, just 5%. I'm not even talking about 100%, just 5%. Imagine the ROI of coaching. Just think about. Now that's ROI. That's ROI in real term because that's what we are talking about as how important it is. So, in other words, what we are talking about is uh, are we developing our managers and leaders enough to exploit this potential and basically get to the turnover or the potential? Because when you have a challenge on resources, which we all have, by the way, okay, hiring new people is going to be very, very difficult to even get an approval, okay, leave alone having the courage to go and get a sign off on that, okay. And therefore, what we are trying to say is your best bet, if you are an HR, if you are an L&D, if you are a leader, your best bet is to focus on building and increasing the potential utilization of our teams currently. And that's where we are going to talk about. Okay. I'm going to share a very interesting video. I want you to watch this video. Okay. And tell me, uh, you know, and I'm going to kind of unmute you, for you to, or at least ask you to share your thinking in the chat box. Okay. Tell me, what do you notice about these people's mindset and their actions? So that's the question I'm going to ask. Okay. Let's watch this very interesting video. Okay. And let's see what is the message you get about their mindset and their actions.
That's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are two people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's nothing else left to do. That's it.
Hello? Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fix it in a second.
He said he can fix it. All right. All right. That's more like it. He says he can fix it.
Okay. So go ahead, answer the two questions in the chat box. So first one is, what does it tell you about the mindset of these two people? The second question you probably want to say is, What does it tell you about the behaviors? And or maybe what was irritating you about the actions of these two people? Go ahead, have fun on chat box. Let me hear what your reaction is. So I'm getting mindset frustrated. Somebody used, not willing to look for solution. Idiots, helpless, created, lost patience, lazy people. Look at the problem, not solution. Stuck, more dependent. Okay. And I love these colorful ones which are coming in. Okay. Got stuck with the routine, waiting for others to help. Mindset, that's not my job. That's a good catch, Abhijit, by the way. No self-help, not looking for alternatives, limiting perspective, not able to break, and so on and so forth. So I love these perspectives which are there. No alternate solution. At least they're not thinking of an alternate solution, as we said. So now we get the trend. We get to see what we are talking about. Okay, techno mindset. Joyce says they've forgotten that they could just wake up and go ahead. Okay. And so so when we look at these kind of situations, it tells us two things, very important things. One is that coaching is just not a skill; it's also a mindset, and we're going to talk about it. So when we watched this video, our mind was saying, "What the hell? They could have just woke up." But when we are caught in our own paradigm, when we are caught in our own thinking, we start believing that there is a way to do things and that's the only way to do things. And that's when we paralyze ourselves. And that's where the challenge